Well, the return of whatever doesn't really feature the entire cast, as Justin's off doing some important things like becoming a father.
Yeah, whatever.
Tacos.
Yeah, whatever. Cause this is my United States or whatever. And this is my United States or whatever.
All right, so welcome to Whatever with Don and Justin, sans Justin. This is Don, and we actually have a special guest tonight, who would be...
I'm not Justin. I'm Adam. Hi, how's it going?
This is Adam, and he is a game reviewer. He has a YouTube channel as well, just like Justin. So he's kind of a worthy fill-in host, even though he's never done this podcast before. But I have podcasted with him before. It was like, what? How many years ago was that now? It was a long time ago.
This is a few years ago. There's a couple Asian dudes and a Mexican. I don't know.
Right.
We did a
podcast together on a website called Control Alt Kill, and that was many moons ago now. It was like, what, 4 years ago. And we actually went to E3 together. I shared a room with this guy.
We shared a bed.
Yeah, well, did we share a bed? I don't remember that.
We spooned a little bit.
Okay, so we shared a room, and yeah, it was interesting because we're from the east and the southeast. More specifically, I'm from Georgia. He's from Kentucky. Man, that sucked the other night, huh? For you guys, and your girlfriend
Yeah, she's
Kentucky fan.
She's a big UK fan.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was actually surprised they made it as far as they did.
Yeah, I guess you could just be grateful that happened, right? Because they had tons of freshmen, and they weren't even like that experienced. And I mean, nobody expected them to even get as far as they did.
Yeah,
so.
I guess the good news for the city of Lexington, at least it didn't burn down to the ground. Like
they tried to.
Years ago.
They tried to again, even though they didn't even win this time. But
yeah, their heart just wasn't it because we didn't win. Obviously, your desire to destroy things just isn't there. It's like, gosh,
we
tipping
lost
over this car and setting this house on fire just doesn't feel the same.
I can't believe we lost. Burn everything. We won. Burn everything. Like, what the fuck? Just make up your mind. It's like when don't you burn something? When I don't know what. Like when everything burns. Is that when you don't burn things? Yeah. So, anyway, UK, University of Kentucky. He's from Kentucky. I'm from Georgia, as I mentioned. I'm in the Atlanta area. For those of you who are unfamiliar, and us going to E3 was kind of a culture shock for me anyway, because it's in LA and it's like a huge city and it's just like craziness over there. For like 3 days straight we were just wandering around, just going from like meeting to meeting, looking at all these games that were coming out. Like we saw Portal 2 before it came out.
I was the only one that didn't realize I was supposed to make up a schedule, so I kind of winged it.
Just kind of walked from place to place. Yeah. But I had meetings and things I had to get to, and I think we did a pretty bang up job that year covering E3 for being such a small site. We had like 8 people that went to the show, which is crazy for like a small ass site like we were. Like we didn't even have 8 writers on the site, but we somehow managed to have 8 people there representing the site, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a really cool experience, and actually it just fueled me into wanting to get back there on a more professional level, so like that's been my goal since, is kind of like getting more adept with my quality, and getting like better at editing and getting better at voiceovers and writing and all this stuff, so that I can put together a decent reel, and then I could hopefully do reviewing professionally, and that's what I want to do, because it's just a blast. I love doing that, and I love going to shows like E3, and we have here in Atlanta Dragon Con and things like that, and I love covering that kind of stuff, and it's something that I would love to get back to doing. And yeah, so that's basically what this is all about for me. Like I want to really get back into doing podcasting and doing high quality content, not just YouTube quality stuff like I was before. And yeah, so this is kind of the first step on the way to doing that, hopefully. And thank you for joining us tonight, Adam. Appreciate you filling in.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's no problem. And I know you and Justin, know each other, and you speak to him, and I'm sure you
Yeah,
have.
he's an asshole.
Yeah,
He's a
he's a dick.
total jerk.
I'm sure he gives you his blessing though. Like in filling in his
Yeah.
shoes, he would rather no one else other than Adam, his buddy, old pal, who he does characters for on his videos and different things like that. So anyway, um, we're we have some topics we just kind of threw together at the last minute because this is really kind of just like an impromptu
This is
podcast.
professionalism at its finest.
Yeah, and I honestly like some of the best material that Justin and I ever had actually came out of podcasts like this, where it's just last minute, kind of thrown together hastily thing. But some of the topics we're going to talk about tonight, for those of you who are unfamiliar with whatever, it's called whatever because I personally I like to cover everything. I like to be able to cover everything. We're heavily a gaming podcast first and foremost because Justin and I and Adam here as well are big gamers, and we like to play video games because we grew up doing so, and we've only seen the medium expand and grow in the recent years, and it's bigger than movies now, and it's just something that we're really passionate about. In addition, though, we like to talk about movies. We like to talk about. We had an interview with this group a few years ago named Lark and Poe, who actually just opened. They just sang the national anthem last night at the Braves home opener, which was pretty cool. Like they've gone on to become like some big deal now. They're like touring with Elvis Costello and all these other people. It's kind of crazy. And they're not video game or movie related at all, but like we had them on as a guest because that's just what this podcast I want it to be about, more than just the one single thing. So but tonight, if you're not into gaming, hopefully you'll stick around because it's still going to be entertaining because we're very well spoken people and very well prepared.
I know how to say the word, and
What word are you talking about?
the word that comes out that makes me articulate.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so
Okay, great.
Adam can enunciate some things, even though he's from Kentucky, which is fucking amazing, honestly. But
Yes.
in addition, though, hope you stick around because we're going to start off by talking about this trend that seems to be happening with these remakes of games that aren't even that old anymore. I don't even understand it. I don't personally think it started with Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider just got a definitive edition released on current gen consoles. I'm sorry, I almost fell into the trap. I hate when people
Yeah,
say
it's
next
easy.
gen, even though it's current gen now, and last gen
Yeah.
is not current gen anymore. So anyway,
I think I did that the last time around too myself.
did you? Yeah. So like, but Tomb Raider got a definitive edition released for the PS4, Xbox One, and all they did was just up the graphics. Like they didn't add any new content. They didn't do anything else other than change her face for the worse, I might add, because it looks garbage. And that's pretty much it. Like they up the resolution to 1080p and they up the frame rate to sometimes 60 on PS4, but it has a lot of drops and it's not really that consistent and it's kind of nauseating. But they still charged full price for this game, and the game released last March, I believe. So it wasn't even a year old. It released in February of this year, and it was only 11 months old as a game, as a release, and they charged $60 again for the same thing without any additional content. Fast forward to today, and we have confirmation that The Last of Us, which released last June, which makes it only 10 months old, is releasing this summer. Someone on GAF said August 8th, I think. But anyway, that would make it 13 months old, and it's releasing on the PS4 in 1080p, and they're targeting 60 frames per second. But the point is that they're going to charge $60 for it again, and a lot of people just paid $60 for it a year ago. I don't know. What do you think of this trend, Adam? What do you think of?
I'm not against the idea of HD remakes, but as far as like what this is concerned, I don't understand who these are for. Unless you just like really feel like you need something shiny to have with your brand new console, but even then, for me, I'm planning on like renting from GameFly the Tomb Raider definitive for my Xbox One because I didn't play it the first time around.
Okay.
I didn't get to it, so it's just like, hey, that's fine. But yeah, it just kind of irks me that's like, okay, $60. It doesn't, like you said, doesn't have any extra content. For me, Like, I mean, unless I really have that much of a crazy, deep, fan based, obsessive compulsive collection thing for a particular series,
Right.
I'm in that weird group that will do that. But none of these seem to be really that kind of game, and it's just kind of odd to me that they would go about and try to do. I mean, I could see like, oh, we want to make all this money, but what drives me crazy is that there's so many people that are just so excited for Last of Us being on the PS4. It's just like, but you guys just played that game,
Yeah,
like
I know.
you finished it.
Yeah,
That's it.
and I have to admit, like, Naughty Dog games kind of irked me because I honestly, like, I think they're kind of average. I don't think, like, the gameplay is, like, astronomically amazing or something. Like, Uncharted, I think the first Uncharted is pretty shitty now, honestly. Like, it doesn't hold up very well, neither technically nor gameplay wise. The second one is a huge improvement over the first game, but it's still pretty average gameplay wise. I mean, I'm talking as a
For me,
shooter.
Uncharted 2 and, in a weird way, 3, I know a lot of people didn't like 3, but for me, they were about on the same level. To me, they were my favorite PlayStation 3 games, but the only reason I didn't play Last of Us,
Yeah.
this may sound like a stupid thing, but I'm just so tired of zombies and movies,
No,
TV
it's not
shows,
stupid at all.
everything. I
They're
was, like,
everywhere.
excited to play it, and as soon as they're like, oh, look, it's mushroom zombies, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mushroom
Can you
zombies.
guys not have an original idea?
That's the
Oh,
thing, though.
okay.
But personally, like, I played The Last of Us, and I didn't, I guess I didn't get it. Like, I played like 4 hours of it, which is, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like that's enough time to get a good feel of it, and I just didn't like it that much. So I don't know, like, but I understand,
Yeah.
I understand why people would want it on the PS4 because it ran like shit on PS3. Like, let's be honest, it had a
Yeah,
frame
I
rate in like the
understand.
20s. It was really rough, but at the same time, yeah, this game's barely a year old. I know it won so many game of the year awards, and I think that maybe kind of makes it a little more egregious to me because Tomb Raider was one of those games that it released, and they actually mentioned, I think in one of the conference calls, that it didn't sell as well as they had hoped it would. And so, like, I can kind of understand them re-releasing it on the next gen consoles at the beginning of the generation because they rebooted the series with this game, right? And
Mhm.
it was divisive, like, because it was nothing like any of the previous games in the series, and it's a lot like Uncharted, so a lot of people didn't like that. But at the beginning of a generation, you have a chance to establish a franchise, right? And
Mhm.
since this is a reboot, it's almost like a new IP of sorts. And so I can sort of understand them like wanting to build a new
Yeah.
fan base on the new consoles with this game. And in addition, they're trying to make up some extra revenue because it disappointed them the first time around. The Last of Us sold like fucking 5 million copies or something like that. And it was the game of the year that everybody fucking played that had a PS3. Nobody missed this game last year. And all of a sudden they're remastering
Except
it.
me.
Well, yeah, okay, they're like remastering it though. Like a year later.
Yeah.
It was a super popular game, and it just seems like I don't know. I'll rent it. I rented The Last of Us on PS3. I'll probably rent it. I'll rent this too. But I don't know. I just don't know that I don't like the trend. I just think it's gonna start.
Yeah, and what bothers me is that so many people are so accepting of this trend that it's kind of like I'm okay with HD remix, especially if it's like a collection and it's at like a good price.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm all for it. But $60 for something you put out a year
Yeah, I
ago
feel
just
like
because you put a little
maybe
pen style
$40.
paint on
If
it.
it was like $40, I feel like I'd be a little more forgiving of it. Like, just I wouldn't be so critical of it. I should say. I don't really think there's anything
Yeah,
wrong with it per
exactly.
se. I don't think there's like any moral code they're breaking or anything. But it's just kind of like, yeah, like I just don't see the value here. And honestly, like,
Exactly, and I don't think there's really that much value. And I know you're a little bit more into graphics. Like to me, like I could still play a PlayStation One game and be fine with it. But
yeah, I was gonna say,
like when it comes to that, like to me, like if I had a choice, like personally, because like I said, that frame rate and graphics don't bother me
sure,
that bad. Depending, like it just has to be like the most horrendous I've ever seen for it to like really kind of just be like
oh, I've played some
like I
really
would
rough
rather pick
ones
up a copy
recently.
of Tomb Raider on 360 or Last of Us for like 10-15 bucks on the old console than
Yeah,
have to go pay 60 for the same thing. Like to me, like to me that's not value. Like to me, value would be content, not a paint job.
Well, to me, value is like I just found Super Mario 3D World for Wii U the other day for $32. Like that was value. But the thing is, like, typically I can play like older games. Oh, good, I'm getting messaged on Steam now. But I can play older games. But the onus is like I'm a PC gamer, you know, and I'm used to playing games at 1080p, so that's not
Right.
really a feature to me. You know, that's not really something
Right.
worth
You don't sound like
extra
a snob when
money.
you talk about it on Twitter.
That's I try to on Twitter. I'm an asshole on Twitter. That's the whole point of my Twitter account. But anyway,
My
but
Steve does things at 1080p, 60 frames a second.
well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like my computer will play games at 1080p,
Yeah.
and I'm not paying extra money for that feature, quote unquote. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
actually used to paying less for PC games than console gamers are for their system, and I actually
true.
am used to 1080p graphics for less money. So I'm not going to pay more money for something that I'm used to getting for less. That's my point. So like, yeah, I just don't see the value like you just said. So I mean, we'll see how it goes though. I don't even know if it'll catch on. Like Last of
It
Us,
probably will. They'll be like, oh my gosh, Last
it'll
of Us,
probably
oh my
catch on.
God.
Let's put it this way. I don't know. Okay, Sony will do it right. I have faith. Like, you know, Naughty Dog is a very, very talented studio. Technically, I could criticize their gameplay all day long, but their presentation is like almost second to none in the industry, and their technical skills. What they did with the PS3 with Uncharted 2 and 3 was amazing. Honestly, like
Yeah.
like solid frame rate, incredibly technical use of graphics and stuff like that, like ambient occlusion and all kinds of stuff that you just didn't see in a lot of other games. And I don't know, like that. It'll really show off the PS4. I feel like, but yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know, because to me it just seems like, at least in my eyes, and maybe it may take advantage of PS4, but to me it just seems like it's an upscale of an old game. So in
Might
other
be.
words, I really don't like using older games, or like what we're talking about, like the Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
or even the
Well,
Last
Tomb
of
Raider
Us
was
as
ugly
a
to begin
judgment
with.
of a new console. Like if it's also on current consoles, to me that's not going to be a good centerpiece. Like, was it the new Batman game that's supposed to be coming out?
Yeah.
But it's only going to be for the current systems. Like to
Right.
me, that's going to be more of a centerpiece than maybe even like Destiny.
Yeah, I see what you're
even.
saying. Or the new Assassin's Creed, which is built like you mean it's built
Exactly.
specifically around next gen hardware. Yeah,
Right.
I think those I agree with you on that. But the thing is, I think it will push it. I think it'll. I don't think it'll push the system to its limits, but I think it'll take advantage of the power and really improve the graphics over the PS3 version, obviously.
Oh,
But
obviously, yeah.
but I think I would only trust a studio like Naughty Dog to do a good job of that. You know, like Naughty Dog, Blue Point is another studio. They did like Shadow of the Colossus HD, God of War Collection. They're another studio that does an outstanding job with these types of ports. But there was like the Splinter Cell collection. There was like the Prince of Persia collection from Ubisoft on the PS3 last generation. And those were absolute shit. Like they ran horribly. They were missing effects from like the PS2 versions of the game. It was just, so like I think like I don't mind this trend, but I think I only want it done by like Sony first parties and like very few games that I would actually want that treatment given to. And this is one of them. So anyway, so
The thing with me, like the ones I want HD remakes of, are games that are harder to find now. Like to me, like something like The Last of Us and games like that, I think are going to be easier to find.
Yeah.
But me, I got my niche in my Japanese
Right.
type games and things like that.
Sure.
Like I love sets, that actually have like maybe games that are a little bit harder to find, or games that that might have been considered like classics.
oh yeah, no,
Like-
I one of the examples I can use for that is something like Radiant Silvergun.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
is it Ikaruga? Is that how you say it? Ikaruga,
Yeah.
Ikaruga just got released on Steam, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think the more people that get to enjoy these games that are rare, the better it is. Like I wish they would. Another game that I really would like to see an HD remake of is Xenoblade. I think that would
Oh
be
my gosh,
fantastic.
yes.
Xenoblade on Wii U would be awesome. Like I think because a lot of people won't get to play it because it had such a limited run in the States.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's, it's such a sad. I'm surprised that it even got released in states, and I'm
Oh
kind
yeah.
of glad because I would have region modded the hell out of my Wii.
Well, I
So,
I bought a copy. It's still closed. Like I'm never opening it. But
oh, the U.S. copy never
yeah, the
opened.
US. Yeah,
Put it on eBay, sell for twice as
yeah,
much,
yeah. It goes for like $150 or something now. It's
and then
crazy.
go back and buy a used copy at GameStop for like
Yeah.
40 cents.
Well, like I know, it's kind of seedy, but I own the game, so I figure I can download it from other places because I own the damn thing, and I can play it on Dolphin, the Dolphin emulator on PC, which is
Yeah,
nice. But yes, I mean I can still play it. Whether or not it's morally okay is up to
you're
people.
going to hell, Don.
It's illegal. I mean, I'm a copyright infringer, but fuck you, I don't care.
They
So
speak louder into this mic.
yeah,
What was
right.
that
Well,
you said for the
yeah, I
recording?
infringed on your copyrights, you fuckholes. I bought your game too, so suck it. So anyway, the other topic we were going to get into before the break, just touch on this for the next 10 minutes or so. What were we going to talk about next? I don't even remember. Oh, your fighting game.
Do we want to
thing.
go into the PlayStation thing, or should I talk about the?
Go into your fighting game thing you were going to talk
Okay,
about. That was
so
what it
I
was.
guess I'll cover a few quick things. Dive Kick has been one of the most interesting fighting games. I think Don, you should try it out on Steam. It's really interesting.
Is it
I have
early
as well.
access?
It's no, it wasn't early access.
Okay,
It's been
good.
out for a little bit.
Because I loathe
Um,
that whole system. I'm just kidding. I don't.
They actually just did a patch called Dive Kick Addition Edition,
Dive Kick?
which was a free patch. They patched some of the characters and stuff, but pretty
Let's
much
see.
like one of the main characters is named.
Is there a trailer for this
I
thing?
want to say his name's Dive, and he's pretty much Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Oh, really?
The characters are really ridiculous.
Okay, like over the top, kind of cartoonish.
Yeah, yeah, and like you have
Like
two
an
buttons.
anime?
You have dive, which is to jump, and then kick. And basically, it's like one
Hence
hit
the name.
KOs, and you've got to try to pretty much like kill the other opponent by just jumping and kicking.
So
it's really stupid.
Do they use this for tournaments? Because I'm seeing like regionals for this thing on YouTube. And
Yeah, like I guess they're trying to do some small tournaments
Those
and
are
stuff like that
Giant
with
Bomb
it.
Quick Look.
It does have some in-game like jokes, like fighting game type jokes, but there is some other stuff there. Like I said, the Will Smith reference. They have like Seth Killian and the was it Mark from Mad Cats? He does Mad Cat stuff.
Okay.
Like their characters in the game. Seth Killian's like the final boss. He's kind of like the godlike character. He tries to balance the world. It's really ridiculous. And the news is that Iron Galaxy posted on their Twitter that they actually got done forgot his name from Saints Row, Johnny Gat. He's
Right.
going to be a playable character in the game, and I think it just fits because that game's so ridiculous and Saints Row is so ridiculous, and I love that. To me that series is much better than GTA in my opinion. I know some people stab me to death for that.
We're listening to
yes.
the trailer right now, by the way. I'm playing in the background, so people can kind of get an idea of it. It looks like an Adult Swim game or something.
Kinda, yeah.
The animation, how stiff it is
it's
and
it's
stuff.
just
It
really
looks weird.
ridiculous, really stupid, and it's fun. Other thing,
It reminded me. The animation reminded me of Hunger. What is that? Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
yeah, I could kind of see that.
That's what
Yeah,
it reminded me of.
Yeah, those guys apparently at Iron Galaxy are pretty crazy. I listened to Johnny Bobcast, the guy named David Lang, like he's in charge of it, like he's really close with him, and like the game
okay.
is just they were trying to get like Mad Catz to design just a big giant 2-button controller with 2 giant buttons. Just for that game, I would love to see like something like that.
You could use it with
Ridiculous.
the Wii remote, I bet, huh? The sideways
That'd be
Wii
a
remote.
weird thing. I'm sure somebody out there is probably trying to make it work.
Just
with
2
remote,
buttons.
Oh man, but anyway, yeah. So another thing too, Killer Instinct, Fulgor's out, the cyborg with the ponytail.
That's right. There's a
He's-
story mode now, apparently.
Yeah,
too.
and there's a story mode, so there is more than just fighting online now.
Man, that is weird. That is weird how they decided to roll that game out. Honestly,
Yeah, it is.
kinda
But
strange.
to be honest with you, a lot of people think it's like a scam. But really,
How many,
when you think about it, it's like okay, you could either pay $40 for everything, plus they even gave you like everything for season 1, plus they also gave you Killer Instinct, like the classic arcade
Oh, really?
game.
That's
too.
nice.
So, yeah, so you got both. Doesn't have online sadly, but it's kind of like an HD, I guess,
Right.
a port, whatever.
Okay.
And then
You can
then, yeah,
you
you
can
got all
also
the characters
you
and
can
things
also
like
play
that
that
for the first
on
season.
an emulator, by the way, for free. So I don't know if it'll probably run on
Yeah.
smartphones by now, but
everything's on emulator now. Okay,
yeah, you
anyway,
can emulate a lot of stuff.
Then, of course, now they added story mode and stuff like that, and But yeah, I mean, or you could just choose to either play for free with a random character they give you like every other month, because it's just they just swap out the character you can play as
Okay, I
every
thought
other
it was
month.
just always Jago. So
No, no, they
that's
swap it
cool.
out. So in other words, like one month you be playing Jago, other, or you could just buy the character or two that you want. So like to me, like I don't see the scam in that. Plus all the in-game stuff like unlocking stages, art, music and different things like that. You earn points in the game like you would, like older games where you would just like play through the game. You would get these points and then you can use it to buy stuff. So
Okay.
so and the game looks damn good. I don't know if you actually seen the game running, but the effect particle effects like what was it, Chief Thunder
I have
stage
it.
with the rain effects looks
I
so good.
I only saw Jago's stage in person. I've only played that stage in person because I played the free to play part when it
Oh,
first
okay.
launched. I went to this. There's like a video game bar around here, and we went
Yeah,
over there. I think it was for my brother's birthday,
yeah.
November. Anyway, we went and no, it was my sister was in January, so we were playing. Yeah. Anyway, I played that stage, and that was when the horrible sharpening filter was still there. Oh my god, that
Oh
thing
yeah.
ruined the game to me. But yeah, it was
But
it
yeah, it
was
looks
it was
good.
pretty cool. The particle effects were a little overdone. I felt like it was like,
I
holy
mean, this is
crap,
a game where you're
why?
having a werewolf fight a cyborg,
I
fight
know,
a
I know, but
ninja, fight a
it was
yeah.
just like the fireballs would hit each other and just explode everywhere, and I was like,
You know,
good
Lindsay
lord.
Lohan's in the game. She's playing as sheesh, I forgot that character, Spinal, the skeleton.
So okay, I see what
She
you
does
said. I see
really
what you
well
did
as
there.
that
Yeah,
character.
it looks
Oh,
exactly like her.
oh yeah, and I forgot there is one more thing. There's Smash Brothers stuff. I don't know if you see anything
Oh,
on
I
it or
did
not.
see some of that.
Oh my
I'm not a
gosh, I
Smash
am
Brothers
just getting so
guy,
excited.
unfortunately, but yeah, I'll probably give it a look because just a freaking screenshot that thing would be amazing. The fucking screens of that game look crazy. I can't
What do you
believe that
think
Wii
about
U's
the
putting that out.
3DS version coming out this summer and then the Wii version coming out in the winter?
I don't know. I have a 3DS. It's interesting that they're deciding to do that. Are they like cross-platform playable? Can you play
Yeah,
like?
they're supposed to be like I
Okay,
think they're supposed to be. I'm not for sure how it works, but somehow they are. I don't know if it's actually playing. But what I did notice they were doing with the Wii U version because they got Namco and some of the guys from Tekken to help work on it.
oh
So they
really?
actually, it seems like they're trying to make it like a balanced fighting game in a way. There's even going to be a mode where it's like for glory, which is kind of more like a ranked
They
type
went from
mode.
they went
It's
from
only
banning
it's
it.
no items. It's a final destination type level. In fact, they even said every stage has a final destination version.
Huh? Whatever that
Also, then
means.
there's the for fun, which is the traditional Smash Brothers type stuff,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I like how they went from like banning it at a tournament, like was it a couple of years
yeah,
ago, to now they're
yeah, it was.
like
No, it was
embracing it
last
and
year.
yeah, they're
Last year they banned it from Evo because,
right.
well, here's the thing: they were doing it. Evo was doing a charity drive to see what the one of the games for the show was going to be,
Uh huh.
and Smash Brothers Melee won the charity drive. Problem was, Nintendo got their lawyers got heard of it, and then they tried to ban it. But here's the other kicker. Like so many people protested, I guess Nintendo realized that this was for charity. They were like, "Oh shit!" And so they reversed it last minute, and everything's okay. And
Like
this year,
wow, we
before
look
they
like
did it,
dicks.
they asked Nintendo first. That's so, and Nintendo was like, "Okay, sure." So
Oh yeah, it's but yeah, now they just like embrace it so much that they're like balancing it for tournament play practically. So it's just interesting to me. It's not just a complete 180, but like beyond where they were before. You
yeah, no,
know?
they do something similar to Pokemon. Of course, Pokemon's not broadcast, but they have like Pokemon tournaments with cards
Man,
and
that would be
games and things like
horribly
that.
boring.
So,
That would be awful
and
television. I don't know who could
Capcom's
watch
trying to
that.
do that too. They're like having
Ugh.
their own branded Capcom fighting tournaments. Of course, they're not
That, fighting
because they
tournaments are
don't-
one thing, but fucking Pokemon card tournament? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, how do you
I think
televise that?
so kick ass.
I wouldn't know how to direct that. Like, I'm in television production school, and like
Yeah.
part of our one of our classes was like directing, like different segments. Like we had to do like a demonstration of something. We had to do like like a traditional newscast and things like that. I wouldn't know where to begin to be able to direct and make interesting a Pokemon card playing
I
tournament.
think you would have to have not. Well, I mean, that's with
Oh my
anything.
God.
Like, I couldn't go to a League of Legends tournament and tell, like, make it, it's because I don't know nothing about
Right, you'd have to
game, but
do
I'm sure
extensive
if you
research.
Knew, like everything about the Pokemon trading card game, you would make that
That's
shit
true.
sound exciting.
Yeah, poker's no different, and they have fucking poker TV shows, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Yeah, whatever, man. People like to watch. I mean,
At least
look,
I understand
look.
Pokemon. Okay, the mouse is going to kill the plant monster. I get that.
I like Casino Royale, and let's be honest, half of that movie was a poker game. Like, so you know, you never know. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and take a little break here. Let's just message from our fake sponsors, brought to you by me. We'll be right back.
Come to downtown Atlanta and experience the Southeast's largest nightclub. 16 rooms with 64 dance floors of the most annoying electronic dance music imaginable. Club Douche. Featuring top security with German bouncers.
You're not getting in here.
Come on down to the club experience of a lifetime. Club Douche. Remember, whatever happens here, you will regret.
You will regret. Welcome to Club Douche. Welcome back to Whatever with Don and not Justin.
I'm definitely not Justin.
So yeah, you don't have a kid, right? That's
Not yet.
I don't know if he
Somewhere
does
out
yet
in
either.
Minneapolis.
I wonder if he's
Somewhere around
updated
Minneapolis.
yet.
I don't claim it though.
Oh wow, I would definitely not claim if I had a kid. Just
Yeah,
it
that's
would be
true.
for the kid's own good. The kid wouldn't want me as a father. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'd want you to be my dad. You seem
Oh,
like a
thanks
great
so
role
much.
model.
Yeah, a fantastic
Adopt
role
me.
model. So, we had some other stuff we were going to touch on, and I'm spacing all over the place tonight. We were going to talk about something else. What was that? What was that other thing? The Reddit thing that you were
Well,
mentioning
actually,
there.
let me ask you this, Debbie. I know since we had like 2 topics before and we're kind of down to one, have you seen the new Captain America? Since we'll get some non-gaming.
I have not. I actually do want to get back into reviewing movies, though, and that's probably on my list. I might actually go see it this weekend. I heard it's fantastic, though.
Actually, it's pretty good. I don't know if I would say, like, I won't spoil anything, but I don't know if I.
Does he die?
Like, yeah. Anyways, everybody who dies. Oh, sorry. I'm just kidding.
Captain
Anyway,
America's
so,
dead. There aren't any more movies. What?
Freedom is dead. Okay.
Yeah, man. Did
Oh,
you see
God,
the
no.
Did you see the thing on Facebook? It was like a picture going around, and it said that moment when you realize Captain American is really Captain Puerto Rico, and it's like the Puerto Rican flag, and it looks exactly
That's what
like
my
his
fiance
costume.
said. Like, she was like, why is he carrying around the Puerto Rican flag? I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
And she
it
was
looks
like-
exactly
I was
like his
oh.
costume. It's crazy. I'll show you a picture of it. Hold up. It's
Yeah.
just nuts.
You guys don't know nothing about American history and how Captain America saved us from the Nazis.
Oh, I know everything about how Captain America saved us from the Nazis. Captain America. Fuck yeah.
Captain America was on drugs. Fucking user.
Look at this. I mean, seriously. It's just like uncanny. It's crazy. It's just like Captain Puerto Rico. What's going on?
Yeah.
So
There
anyway,
you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Star-Spangled
everyone's taken
pinned
over.
down to his pants.
Actually, I think Puerto Rico probably saw Captain America and copied his thing for their flag, right?
Captain Puerto Rico.
Yeah, probably not. But
Yeah.
so anyway,
They're
what
part
about
of
the
United
movie?
States, right?
What about the movie? It's good. It's worth
Okay,
watching.
yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the. I don't know if I would put it above Avengers. For me, Avengers was like just a blast. It was fun to watch.
That was a fun
This
movie,
movie
yeah.
was really good. I think the action scenes are probably one of the best out of the movies.
Okay,
It's one of-
I read a couple of reviews and they said that there's a lot of practical effects in this, and it's not all CG. Is that
yeah,
right?
from what I heard, I was hearing something about how they actually did not want to do like a ton of CG
Yeah.
in it, and I think it paid off for them because it. I mean, of course, there is CG in there with some stuff, but I think overall, though, I think it paid off because Captain America, he doesn't shoot laser beams. He just throws a fucking shield and punches people. That's all he
Right.
does.
Yeah.
he does it well. So I thought it was a really
And
really
he's
good
really dumb.
movie.
He's really stupid too. Don't
Oh,
forget
I
that
like
part.
it better than Superman. Superman is like
Oh, Superman's the
dumbest.
worst. Don't even get me
I
started
throw
on
three
Superman.
rocks. Superman dies.
He's
This
fucking
Captain
worthless.
America can like survive.
Superman
three
doesn't
rocks.
use his fucking powers ever. He like holds back because he's a. Speaking of which, let me talk about this for a second. Okay, I just played through Infamous Second Son, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played through it. I'm on my second playthrough now. It's a fun game. It's worth owning if you have a PS4. I rented it. I still have it. I got it like the day it launched from GameFly. But I still have it. I'm on my second playthrough, and this one is my evil playthrough. Okay, the first time through, I played as a hero,
I
and the
don't buy
thing
that.
is, it is fucking 10 times more fun playing as an evil villain or whatever he is than it is playing as a hero. Because when you're playing as a hero, you have to have so much fucking self restraint, and you don't, you can't kill everybody. You have to like help people. You have to heal the
That's
sick.
the one
You
thing
have to
I
do all
never liked
kinds of
about the
shit.
infamous games. Like, I kind of love how I kind of really like a lot of it, but at the same time,
It's like,
I hate how they make you choose this black. I hate black and white systems.
well, you can
I
you
hate,
can you can.
I just
There's a gray area. I mean, you can like you can build up some evil powers and stuff. You can do both if you want. They give you some bad missions to do too, but you do get locked out of some powers if you're playing just solely as a hero, and you have to go back through again in order to unlock them and just play as solely evil. But then you get locked out of the the good powers. So like, but this time like it was oh, what was I gonna say? It was just it was so much less fun playing as a hero because they give you these moves that aren't nearly as fun to use. Like for example, you have this grenade and it like you throw this grenade and it sort of stuns the guy, right? And then when he's stunned, that gives you a chance to like shoot him and then like tie him up basically and like restrain him and then you like get the whatever you get the reward for taking him out. Whereas if you're evil, you just shoot rockets at people and they're dead like immediately. And it's like it literally takes half the time to take out as the same number of guys, basically.
and
And
to me that would hinder my experience a little bit because I
yeah,
rather like I
it
don't
did
like
to
playing
me.
the bad guy.
Oh, you don't like playing the bad guy?
I never like playing the bad guy, but when you say like the powers are better, like
Yeah,
to
no,
me,
they're
it's kinda
definitely way
like I
better.
should be able to play it the way I want to play it, and be able to gain the kind of powers.
Exactly, exactly. Like in order to like get through the game as a hero, you have to like take extra steps in order to subdue guys and do all kinds of things like that. And I was like, that's not fun. Like you have to stun a guy and then shoot him to tie him up. Whereas when you're evil, you just shoot rockets everywhere and you just blow the shit out of everything, and it's so much more fun. Like seriously. And it's just a lot easier as well, and you
You
get
think that
better
almost
powers.
they
And,
intended it to be?
well,
Like,
they did.
really
They did
want people to play
because
the bad guy.
yeah,
for-
the game. Here's the thing: the name of the game's Infamous. The highest level you can become while you're evil is infamous. So I mean, that's where the name comes from, is you being infamous. But the funny thing is though, like the story doesn't really change, and you're actually still a hero, like in the story, but you're going around killing everybody. Like it's really fucking stupid. It's just like
yeah.
the hero's made for you to actually take. I'm sorry, the story is made for you to actually take the hero route, like the cutscenes and stuff. But whenever you take the evil route, you still get the same heroic cutscenes. Only dialogue will change a little bit. Like there's a part where he's like, your brother is one of the characters in the game, and he's like, I'm a cop and I can't have you killing cops now because that's evil. And he's like, if you kill cops, I'll have to take you down myself. And so what do if you're playing evil? You kill the
Well,
cops.
and-
As soon
but
as you kill the cops,
ACD says fuck the police.
well, all you do is you kill the cops, and all that happens is he just gets on the radio to you and goes, "I told you not to kill cops. Why'd you do that?" And then you go, "They started it. What do they want me to do?" And then he goes, "Oh well, don't do it again." And you're like, "What the fuck? That was no repercussion
That
at
was
all
Leave
for
It to
killing the
Beaver
guy."
moment. Be like, okay, well, don't do that again. You
Pretty
rascal.
much, yeah. It didn't change the story at all. It didn't have any repercussion on this actual
But do you
narration
feel like gameplay
narrative. And I was just like, that was
wise though? If, like,
do what?
sorry, you were cutting in and out on my end a little bit, so I couldn't hear. I was going to say, how was gameplay wise?
Well, gameplay wise, that's what I'm talking about too. Is it's like it's more tedious playing as a hero than it is evil. Like when you're playing as an evil character, you just run around and do whatever you want. Like you just shoot cars and you just you run up to citizens and you just like execute them on the street. And you do all kinds of crap, and it's like when you're running around and you see somebody like on the ground dying, you have to heal them if you're a hero, and you have to be careful not to hit the civilians if you're a hero, and you have to be you have to show restraint, and you have to like not play to your fullest potential, and it's really kind of annoying more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love games like Saints Row 4. Like, to me, that game, like, you didn't have to worry about morality system. Like, you could run up buildings. You do whatever the hell you wanted, and it was just so fun. You weren't like a bad
Oh, and you're gone.
guy. Well, actually, you weren't a bad guy.
Holy crap.
But that was just the freedom of that. Like, that's the thing. Like, if Infamous was a little more freedom and wasn't restricted to that good evil system,
Yeah.
like, do you feel like that would have made it a better game?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, at least you get the choice, and at least you don't have to play as like a hero. Like, and that's the thing too is I think the game was designed around being evil, obviously because it's infamous, and the whole point is to become infamous as a villain. But also, like the story wasn't clearly
Yeah,
not
I'd
written.
rather have to play like a douchebag to have fun.
Yeah, the story was just not written around being a villain, and it just kind of clashes with it. But overall, it's a fun game and it's worth owning. But some of the stuff is weird too. Like the climbing in the game is way worse than Infamous 2. I don't understand what happened there. It's kind of strange. But at least the powers that you get allow you to just like negate the need to climb. You don't actually have to do any of that stuff because they give you shortcuts straight to the top of the building, and they give you they give you ways around having to climb. And if you do have to climb and you're bitching about climbing, you're doing it wrong because there are powers that you get and you don't even have to actually climb ever. But as a whole, like the game itself is just it's fun to play. It looks amazing. The graphics are fantastic. The frame rate's super solid, and it's definitely worth checking out if you own a PS4. And it's really one of the only must-play games on the system right now because there's really not much. Like I played Killzone, and that game is like super mediocre. Like honestly, like I had fun with it up until halfway through or so, and the story in that game is so fucking just weird. I didn't know what was going on, and so you lose that aspect of it because you don't care, and then the gameplay is like monotonous, and I don't know. It could have been way better. I haven't played Knack yet. I've heard Knack's pretty decent, but nothing great. And
Yeah,
then
I heard it was mediocre. I know Justin liked it quite a bit, but
yeah, Justin likes everything though. And then
yeah.
there's there's other stuff that I've already played on PC. Like there's Assassin's Creed 4, which I actually liked Assassin's Creed 4 a great deal, but I'm not gonna play through that again on PS4 when I already own it on PC. Then there's Need for Speed Rivals, NBA 2K14. I guess if you like sports games, that's supposed to be really good, but I don't know. I've heard mixed reception on that too.
Yeah, I just want something new on my Xbox One. I'm debating on even what to rent from GameFly, or even just like renting like just really stupid game like Earth Defense Force, the new one that came out like 360.
I'm considering going back to like PS3 games for GameFly right now because outside of like the only two that I really wanted to play was I wanted to see Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for myself to compare it to the PC version, which I own, and I wanted to play Infamous Second Son. And now that I've got those two out of the way, I'm like, what else is there to play on PS4? Like what, the Lego Movie game? Like there's not much left right now. Actually, I did play the Lego Movie game. My brother brought it over one night. It was actually
I want to play
pretty decent. It wasn't too
jealous.
bad.
Like I want to play Mercenary Kings. That looks good, but I guess I might have to get it on PC because I don't have PS4 at this time.
That's actually a PlayStation Plus game this month.
Yeah,
I haven't played it yet, but Resogun is a great game on PS4. It's a little shooter made by the guys that made Super Stardust HD on PS3.
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
It's a really, really good game. It's a really addictive, fun game. And that was free last month on PlayStation Plus too. So yeah, PS Plus is a great deal. If you had, especially, man, I want to get a Vita now. Like I want to get like the whole package, like all three PlayStation systems, because I really want.
There are some gems, although who are more into Japanese games. There's been a lot more stuff. Like, you ever played games like 999 or anything like that, or heard of those kind of games?
No, but I know what that is. Yeah, I know what that one is.
There's one I play called Danganronpa. Kind of a very. I mean, it's very anime, but it's really a dark story. But I really got into it though.
That's cool. Yeah. No, the Vita looks like a good deal for somebody like me because I like indie games, and I especially like indie games like on a smaller screen.
I hope you like paying for memory cards.
Yeah, that's the shitty thing. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look up on eBay or something for one, but the main thing is remote play. Like I'm a big proponent of we use remote play because I love being able to just like turn off my TV, kind of like lay back in bed or go outside on the porch or something and just have the controller in my hand and play that with headphones on or something. It's pretty cool. But
I made
take
a
it on the
joke
shitter
video about that. And it was pretty much like how people are talking about how the Wii U gamepad was useless, and I was complaining like I didn't want to. It was the whole joke was I was so fat, I'm fat and lazy, and I don't want to move off the couch. The Wii remote's right there. I'm like, oh gosh, why would I play it? And then I was there playing a game, enjoying myself, and I was like, wait a second, I'm not supposed to enjoy this.
You're not though. It's the Wii U. You're not supposed to like anything on it ever.
That's right.
How dare you? How dare you like anything Nintendo ever
How
puts out?
dare you like
Well,
that?
one of the funny things to me is that literally like the most fun I've had in playing games in the past 6 months has been Nintendo games. Like I played the Super Mario 3D World was probably my game of the year last year. When I played that
I need
game,
to finish that.
when I played it, I was friggin' like it was like I was a kid again. It was literally like playing an old school Mario game for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And then
certain Mario games just have a magic to them.
And then I replayed before I played. I still haven't beaten Tropical Freeze, but I replayed Donkey Kong Country Returns just like a month ago, and that game is fantastic. I loved every second of that thing. The boss battles are complete shit, but the actual game itself is awesome. And then Tropical Freeze, from what I've played of that, is like just a fucking joy. So I mean, those games are like literally some of the best on the market. Not to mention, like I played Pikmin 3. That's a really good game. Wind
That's
Waker.
not shooter, bro.
Oh, sorry. But Wind Waker HD is literally that's probably like it's one of the best looking games on the market right now, and it's
Now
a
that's an
fucking
HD
remake.
port.
Yeah, for right.
That like to me like that's worth the money because it's a hard to find game. Like we were talking about like these HD ports, but yeah, they did a really good job, and it's like such a big game, and it's been years since it's ever came back out.
I think it
again,
was
so-
$50 instead of 60, which is nice. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a little expensive. But I mean, yeah,
Right.
I mean it's just stunning in 1080p though. And
Absolutely.
yeah. So anyway, so anybody that questions whether or not they should give Wii U a shot, like seriously, it's even backward compatible, and the other systems are not. So I mean, there's a lot of value there, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think people are willing to look at the Wii and the Wii U.
Yeah, its third-party
and see that there are
situation's
games
pretty
of
rough.
True value there. Like I love the last story. Like I know there's some people have mixed opinions on it, but to me that was one of the best games on the system. It was kind of different.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, like mix of Gears of War meets Final Fantasy, but it worked well. I enjoyed the story and the characters.
what was the other one? Pandora's Tower,
that-
right? That was the other one that they petitioned for.
Yeah, I have that game. I didn't get too far in that one though.
Okay. I didn't play either of those. I stopped at Xenoblade. I know I probably should have got the other two if I wanted more games to come, but I got a
Well,
limited
you know what? They got
limited
all
amount
three
of
of those
funds.
games, and it kind of shows. Like, what I was happy about is that XE picked up the last two games because the thing with companies like XE, Axis, and Atlas, which I know is owned by Sega, they kind of noticed that a niche market doesn't necessarily mean there is money there. It's just you got to know how to. They know how to capitalize on that stuff, and I'm kind of glad that they stepped in for those last two games. I'm actually surprised Nintendo did Xenoblade, but I'm glad.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too, but I'm glad they did because now I can sell it when I need money, and that'll help out with my new graphics card that I'm thinking of
I
buying.
will
'cause
never
I'm a
let that
fucking
game
idiot.
go. Ever.
Oh my god,
ever.
I still haven't actually played through it, but I'll save it
I
for
haven't
a rainy
finished it
day.
either, but I got a good way through. But I don't know why it's one of my favorite games.
I'll probably actually
so-
give it a run through on the gamepad screen there because it looks so nice.
That's the problem, though. They don't
games on
have
that
it
thing
fixed
look
to
nice.
where you can actually play on the gamepad.
No, I know. I mean, well, you could play like you could use it as a screen, but you
But
have
it's
to
kind
use
of
the
dumb.
you got to use
I
the
mean,
controller.
it's like that defeats the purpose. I want to lay back.
I know.
Be my
It-
fat self.
the thing
and
is,
push
like,
buttons.
it's kind of it's not impossible, but they have to go back on a game by game basis and patch it in order to do that because like not every game supports classic controller. Number one, number two, it's not a system that is like able to be patched in because okay. The Wii U's, or not the Wii U, the Wii's menu, like the little, whenever you hit the home button, right, and it brings up
Yeah.
the home thing, that was actually coded in on a game by game basis. It's not like a
okay.
system wide, like Xbox 360 thing where you just hit the home button and it just brings up the operating system over the screen.
Yeah.
It was like coded in on a game by game basis, so they literally would have to go on a game by game basis and put controller support in. and it's I mean
Gotcha.
that's kind of like just an astronomical feat. So
Yeah, I'm hoping because they're going to release X, and I'm just that's the game I'm waiting for because I like Xeno. Even though I
yeah, I
finished
think
Xenoblade, I'm hoping that they may be like, oh hey, we'll do an HD remake of this because
oh they will I'm looking forward to
like,
Metroid
they
Prime
have
personally.
the assets in high definition anyway. I think even what they said was it for Mario Galaxy, the assets were in HD, but
They
they
look
had
like
to
it.
lower it. Was that something like that?
They look like it except the text, but yeah, everything else looks. I mean, if you look at it in Dolphin, it looks fucking amazing. But what I was gonna say is, I'm looking forward to Metroid Prime trilogy being redone in HD #1. The next Metroid Prime from Metro, because I know they're going back to the series. It better fuckers. And yeah, I think honestly, like we'll see those games redone in HD. But I do think there's a shot of modders being able to, they've supposedly they've already hacked the Wii U, just like they did the Wii. The Wii was like cracked open like an egg. I mean, that thing, you could hack the hell out of that thing. You can pirate games on it real easily. You can play anything off a USB hard drive now. You can load it with the pointer. They have like homebrew versions of like Quake and all kinds of stuff using the pointer controls and stuff. Like that system was hacked to hell and back, just like the original Xbox. But my point is, like, the Wii U has supposedly also been cracked like that. It's just that the guys that found the crack are nice this time, and they're holding it because they don't want to release it because they don't want the Wii U to be screwed over by pirates. And eventually that'll get out. And if that gets out, then modders will be able to do pretty much anything they want with Wii U games, and I think the Wii side of things will be hacked into.
I guess it's something that what you're saying is it's not something they can just easily patch out.
No. In fact, they can't prevent this from happening. Nintendo can't fix this exploit. Apparently, it's going to happen, and it's going to be something that they'll wish
Like the same thing
they had done.
One of the reasons the Dreamcast died because people could the sad reason, one of the reasons why piracy was bad on the Dreamcast is because literally there's no copy protection on the disc. Like you can literally take a Snout game, rip it to your PC, burn it onto a CD at the right speed, and then just put it in the Dreamcast to play.
That's funny. Well, yeah. Although Windows CE ran on that thing, and like some games use that, and you still can't even emulate those games. Like I have a Dreamcast emulator on my PC, but like Code Veronica, I think Code Veronica runs. What is it? Resident Evil 2. I was trying to play Resident Evil 2 on there because it's like it's a higher res version than was on PlayStation and on GameCube. It's like supposedly the highest res version that they released, and it won't run because it was a Windows CE game. Same with like Quake 3 and other games
on Dreamcast. There's like a VGA adapter you can get.
Yeah. I used to have a
Dreamcast
Dreamcast with one of those. Yeah, it was pretty nice. I used to have a Dreamcast it was like 10 years ago. But I had a Dreamcast and I had a VGA adapter, and I would play that thing on my computer monitor, and it looked fucking awesome. It looked really good at the time. But that was the thing. Was like what I was saying is the Wii U is it's going to be cracked, and modders will probably take it upon themselves, at least for games like that really have a lot of demand for what you were talking about, playing on the gamepad without using a Wii remote, right, and just using it as a TV screen. I think high demand games like that, like Xenoblade, will probably get that support patched in by modders. So you'll probably be able to actually use the gamepad at some point. But yeah, it'll only be games with high demand like that, like because they'll have to like take their own time and work on it for free, and that's one of the things. But I think it's coming.
And Nintendo probably will try to do everything they can to shut them down because that's how Nintendo does.
Yeah, Nintendo's pretty. I don't know, what do you call it? Draconian
like they were
that.
going after. They were going after the Pirate DS cards, saying it was ridiculous.
Well, I hope to God that they learn their lesson. That's an unwinnable war. You can't win against pirates because there's always going to be some guy wanting to crack the security that you say is unbreakable. And it's just silly to even bother putting that stuff out. It's like the guys, the Witcher guys, CD Projekt Red. It's like they own good old games, and that stuff's DRM free. And the reason they have it DRM free is because they've learned through putting DRM on their shit that it doesn't stop pirates, and it only fucking gets in your actual, legit consumer's way. Because people pay for stuff, and then the DRM malfunctions and keeps them from playing something that they actually paid for. That's something you don't want to have happen because then you lose them as a customer in the future. So and
I think DRM is kind of, I don't think it's as prevalent as it was. I know it's probably still there, but I don't think it's as prevalent. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
as
it's
it was
getting
like a few
better.
years ago.
No, it's getting better because we used to have like Star Force, and we used to have, Games for Windows Live is going away.
Online passes.
Yeah, online passes are gone. Well, that's because you have to pay for online on everything now. But it's like it's just it was a nightmare for a while. Like you had Tages, secure ROM on PC. Some games on Steam still have that. I know Chronicles of Riddick still has it. And basically what that does is you can only install the game. You buy it, and they only give you like 3 installs. And then after 3 installs are done, you're
Diesel
up.
comes to your house.
Well, you have to wait.
And rips your head off.
You have to wait until the next month to get the activations back. And in some worst cases, you wouldn't get any activations back ever. You get 3 installs, and then you have to buy the game again. Like, that was fucking what they were trying to pull over on people. But yeah, we don't have that stuff now since Steam like got better. Like Steam is DRM. But and then there's Origin, that's also DRM. And then there's Uplay that Ubisoft uses. But the games that drive me nuts, like Ubisoft will still put like a game on Uplay that uses Uplay and something else on top of it, like Tages or something. And it's like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Like,
Ubisoft seems like they're one of the few companies that don't fully still understand the whole
Yeah.
DRM is not really.
yeah, they have
things.
like they tried the whole always online thing, with like, I think Assassin's Creed 2 on PC like required an online connection at all times, even though it's a single player only game. They ended up like patching that out, and now it's offline. But I saw people like still bitching about The Crew. The Crew was like an MMORPG racer, and
Yeah, like to me, like if it's an MMO,
Yeah, I
you
know.
have to be online anyway.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be
That
online.
makes sense to me.
like there
Especially
are
if-
times when it's okay. You don't have to like hate every single situation of a game requiring online because it requires it to be online. Honestly, like.
I can understand that there's some programs in place, like too, like for like multiplayer games on PCs. Kind of like, I don't know if there is stuff like this because I'm not that big into PC games, but like anti-cheat technology and stuff like that in these games, and stuff to prevent people from exploiting the games in the multiplayer environment to make everything fair.
Yeah, they have some of that stuff. Like Valve has VAC, which is Valve Anti-Cheat, and they use their own system, and they do an okay job of it. There's Punk Buster, which I think Battlefield uses, which is not. I mean, none of them really work. That like
Neither
they
does
should.
Battlefield, so
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, Battlefield's has some trouble, but yeah, I don't know. Like, Battlefield's one of those games like I bought and I've played like 3 times. It's just like I bought it for the
I played it at a
graphics.
friend's house once. I shot a couple guys. It's like, all right,
Yeah, I'm not big into online play anymore. I used to be big in it, but not anymore. I don't know. Like,
I'll admit I did get into Titanfall, and I'm not
Titanfall's
like a big
pretty
Call
good.
of Duty guy, but I did get into Titanfall.
yeah, Titanfall's pretty good, honestly. No, I was gonna say like I rented Call of Duty Ghost because I like actually playing through the Call of Duty campaigns because there's just kind of throwaway Michael Bay kind of mindless action garbage. You know what I mean? Like, but and I honestly thought the campaign was enjoyable of Ghosts, but I hopped online one time on PS4 and I was called the N-word several times, and then, like, what's wrong with you, faggot? You suck, and all this stuff. And I'm like, really? Like, I jumped on for 5 minutes, and I'm
Where's
putting
your
up with this
mom
shit.
at? I need
Oh, it
to
was
tell her to
crazy.
discipline you. Get me a beer.
It was literally 5 minutes in, and I was called so many names. I immediately went and muted them, as soon as, like, the profanity
That's
started.
why I rented the Wii U version of Call of Duty, because you didn't have that shit.
That's true. No, I own Black Ops 2 on Wii U actually, and I like it. I like the Wii U versions of the games. Honestly, they don't run that
I was
well.
actually surprised that
Yeah,
isn't
but
that bad.
but Treyarch does a good job of going out of their way to implement extra features like they put in the pointer controls from the Wii version of the games, and then they also put in the split screen multiplayer. But you play one screen is the gamepad. One player plays on the gamepad, and the other player gets the TV to themselves.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. That's actually a really cool feature. But yeah, like yeah, I have had it up to here with like fucking online people. They're just nuts, man. People playing online just get on my nerves. It's
Yeah,
just
there is
like,
one good feature about the Xbox One. You can actually set the chat to be friends only. So, because my problem was with Killer Instinct, the problem is there was no thing in the menu to like mute like people like so
yeah,
randomly because everybody's got Connect. You can hear everybody having fights with their
fucking Connect,
wives
man.
or you know all this other stupid stuff. Usually, people that play fighting games online are usually people that have a bunch of screaming kids and
Right.
stuff in the background. Like, bitch, what you doing? It's like,
You stupid bitch! God, oh my God! Like, oh my
yeah, well,
God!
Call of
Why
Duty's
are
all
you
like
playing?
4 or 5 year olds.
Why are you playing a game whenever you're fucking fighting with your wife? You're gonna get divorced because of this game, you know? Like, people don't even think anymore. They just do things. They're just like, oh,
Speaking of
fucking, she'll live with
webcams
it.
and games,
Uh-oh.
segue. So I probably should find an article on this, but I've been hearing people talk about it. So apparently, there's been a lot of what's it called? Playroom? Is it the PlayStation like
Right.
webcam program?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, people have found a way to expose themselves and do sexual things to other people and
Oh, it's
themselves on
Uno.
it.
It's Uno on Xbox 360 all over again. That's what people were
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
on Uno and all those other
So you're
games.
trying to find it. Playroom.
He's typing right now.
Reddit.
He's not drumming some tribal garbage. He's actually typing.
You can talk. I'll put this on.
But
mute
I was
real
gonna
quick.
say is the yeah, like this has gone back, you know, all the way to the days of like Prodigy chat rooms in like the 90s. Like people would just get on and that was the first thing they do. They're like, hey, I have a camera, cool, penis. Like immediately, like what? Why? What goes through your mind? Why would you immediately just flash your junk to the world? But that's what people do. That's what they do when they get put on camera. Look at Girls Gone
there's
Wild.
a Kotaku article here. This guy's just
People
I think
are
he's drinking a
having sex
beer,
live
doing
on the
his
PS4.
girlfriend over a couch, and this little robot's watching. Like hey, it's like the funny
That's
thing is like a
hilarious.
gif of the little robot waving his arms while this guy's like just
Wow.
giving her a quarter pounder in the back.
How about that? Wow, and he's all pixelated too. No, he wasn't pixelated in the actual image, was he?
That was funny. They pixelate the
Oh,
top
look
and
at
the
that.
bottom part, like you just see them.
Look at the GIF. There's
Yeah,
a GIF
the
on the
little
bottom of the
robots.
page. Like
Little
you can't
robots,
tell
like-
what's going on. Well, at least they're not
Yeah.
like exposed. He's just kind of pounding her. That's all.
Yeah, apparently, and then there's like some other guy. I guess he's getting his nonads chowed down on, and but
Wow.
yeah. So PlayStation.
Well, I like the comments. What kind of dipshit cunt fucks his girl while drinking what seems to be a beer on camera while streaming it live? And what kind of no self-esteem woman allows it to happen? If you're going to stream, give a good show. Not something I could see in a backyard in Texas any weekend between cousins. Wow. Once again, I'm disappointed at mankind. That's quite the comment there.
Oh, and there is someone that's like, "Hey, smartass, very few Texans are actually rednecks. If you want to fuck your cousin, since you brought it up probably before you thought about it, pandering stereotypes.
how
That
dare
sort
you.
of makes you an idiot.
How dare you
Then
slam cousin fucking rednecks? We have
And then
feelings
there's
too,
a
you
fish
know.
for Fred Durst, which makes it even better.
Nice. Speaking of cousin, yeah, whatever.
Oh, and then there's a Power Ranger boner.
What?
Just scroll down, you'll see the GIF.
Do I want to? I don't think I want to see that.
Yeah, you do. It's Power Rangers. So everybody likes that.
See,
But-
yeah. Which
Yeah,
one is it?
so
Which
so
Power
I
Ranger
guess
is it?
it's one thing that Sony had been trying to crack down on a bit. And in fact, Playroom's no longer allowed on Twitch as a game because of all this. You think Sony's going to say, okay, no more of this? You don't
Oh, they've
play in
got
Playroom
to.
anymore.
I think they have to. Otherwise, they're gonna have to age gate it. Something. You know, they're gonna have to like prevent kids from getting in there somehow. That was the thing. Like I never understood this. This is kind of off tangent, but like when people they go like Nintendo, why do you put in these preventative measures with these parental controls and blah blah blah, and it's like like the target audience that they go after is a lot more susceptible to like being taken advantage of sexually by predators than Sony's. Do you know what I mean? Like they have a lot more kids that play their games
a
than
lot of
Sony
that
has
almost
that
seems
play
to change
theirs.
nowadays. But I mean, all these devices have parental controls of some sort.
That's what I'm saying.
Doesn't mean that they're all like
But more so than the others, Nintendo has kids playing their products, and it's like they have a bigger focus
That's
on,
what
on
what
kids
I'm
and family
kinda thinking. I'm
stuff.
thinking that like more
They have
kids
a bigger
nowadays are into
responsibility.
Call of Duty and stuff like that, and their parents are buying them Xboxes and PlayStations. Though, I mean, Nintendo's games are targeted for a younger audience, but little Billy wants to play Call of Duty with his friends, and he'll bitch at his mom till he
Unfortunately,
gets
and
it,
his
or
parents
GTA
fucking
'cause
just
she's
go right
stupid.
for it. Parents don't pay attention anymore. They're just like, oh, you want to play Call of Duty? Sure, why not? I don't care. And then they get their kid, dropping M bombs on me whenever I'm trying to enjoy it on PS4 for 5 minutes, but it doesn't work. Hey, faggot, get out of my face! I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? Why are you playing this? Why aren't you at school right now?
Usually I just ask them where their mother is. I haven't fucked her today. Usually that gets a good response.
That's nice. It's just as bad as
Just
they
do that
are.
next time you hear that. Just be like, "Hey, your mother bring me a sandwich. Tell the bitch to bring it over."
Why is your mom in the kitchen? Yeah, she must be. She's a woman.
Oh,
Where's your mom? Where is she, huh? She's right. She's sucking my dick right now. She can't talk. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. It's just, that's what I've always thought, though, is like, you have to understand why Nintendo does it specifically more than the other companies because they have a bigger focus on that lower age group. It's like
but also
it's
Nintendo
like
doesn't really
complaining.
have- yeah,
It's
they
like
have- oh, yeah,
complaining
they do
that
have a
Disney's
campus thing.
movies are more rated G than like fucking Dimension films or something. It's like, well, of course, Dimension targets horror films and Disney targets children. It's
I
like
don't even think.
Think
it's,
about
it's,
it.
It's that demographic because let's just put it this way: if the Wii U was popular and it had a streaming service, there would be some person out there that would probably be flapping their dick out and try to jerk off on camera. The problem is that it's just that you have these immature people that can get a hold of this service, and it's so much easier for some of these people, which I know sounds weird, to get a hold of a PlayStation, hook up a camera to it, and do this stuff than it is for them to figure out how to hook it up to a computer, install drivers, then figure out what
Yeah,
program
that's
they
a
need
good
to
point.
use to have their little
yeah,
show.
it's kind of funny. You don't really want to troubleshoot like some stupidness like that. You just want to fucking plug and play. It's a lot easier to do
Yes.
something when it's really really easy when you're really
this
really
puts a whole new
drunk.
meaning to PlayStation.
Yeah, right. All right. So on that note, is that all we were going to talk about? I think that's pretty much it tonight.
Yeah, unless you had something else you might want to bring up, unless you just want to end it on this note.
Yeah, no, I can't really think of anything else. Well, my hard drive's dying on me apparently. But typically, this is a point in the
Right.
show when Justin and I go through and,
I'm Justin.
well, you're not Justin, but
Oh,
you know, you've done an admirable job filling in tonight. Thank you for
thanks for
showing
lying
up.
to
I
me.
appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome. I lie to Justin all the time too. Don't worry. I tell him that he does a great job too. And that, God, man, let me tell you.
I don't feel as special.
Let me tell you, that is not the truth ever with Justin. Holy shit. No, he's a quality human being, that guy. He's going to be a great father, see? Yeah, he's going to fit in well and get his kid in school enrolled, and they're going to do great in life just like he has.
He's going to teach her to be a gamer. He's like, Daddy, my fingers tired. You will play faster. You will become a pro.
Right.
Daddy Rich.
So basically, we play this little music here in the background, and we say, so what did you learn tonight? What did you learn tonight, Adam? If anything.
I learned that the best amateur porn can be made at home on your Sony console.
It can. I could probably make some with my my Nexus 5's camera. It shoots 1080p, which is crazy.
Wow, that's fantastic. Is
Yeah,
it
and-
60 frames a second?
I don't think so, actually, unfortunately.
Fuck that garbage.
But yeah, I could probably do some home porn on this thing here. If I could just figure out how to broadcast it, I'll get back to you guys next week.
Don't forget the Liberator.
Yeah, I don't know what I learned. I didn't really learn much of anything, to be honest with you.
Of course you did, Don.
I just learned, no, not really. Not much of anything. There's not much to really talk about from this point forward, other than to say we'll probably be back at some point in the future whenever I listen back to this and make sure everything went swimmingly, which I think it did, honestly.
Why does this sound like there are cows dying?
Oh, because there are. They're British.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they kill cows over in Britain. You never heard of mad cow disease?
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Oprah
sure it's
told
a
me about
British
this.
disease, yeah. This is Muse, if you don't know who Muse is, then I'm sorry. They're a good band. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight. And, Justin, I don't know if Justin will be coming back, honestly. Because, he has to figure out his schedule. And, God knows what that's going to be like. Because I don't have any
taking over.
kids.
Sorry, Justin. I'm kicking your
I
ass
don't
out
have any
the
kids. And you don't have any kids, and we can't really give them any advice
not
on
that
how
I
to.
claim. Remember, I don't doubt that I claim.
Well, I don't know that I have any kids. Is what I mean. I probably do, but
I'm just waiting for the call from Maury Povich at 8 time.
you are not the father. All right, so that's it. Thanks for joining us tonight, and Godspeed, everybody. See you next week.
All right.